Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everyone. I'm Ida. I'm going to present factors in language learning from Introductions of Psycholinguistics. Definition of language and psycholinguistics. Here is language is such a complex phenomenon that it has become the common study point of many social sciences, such as linguistics, psycholinguistics, sociolinguistics, neurolinguistics, and historical linguistics. Meanwhile, psycholinguistics is the study of the psychological factors that enable humans to acquire, use, comprehend, and produce language. In the field of psycholinguistics, Gash and Salinker 2008 put forward 8 dimensions which affect the language learning acquisition process. Here we go. Factors that affect language learning and language acquisition, such as social aspects, age difference, motivation, aptitude, not attitude, but aptitude, learning style, learning strategies, personality, and effects. Effects become language shock, culture shocks, affective filter, and anxiety. So, I'm going to explain what it does. Here you go. Social aspect. Social aspect is social aspect of using second language cannot be ignored, since second language learning involves the acquisition of a second identity. In this process, social distance may occur. Social distance is the cognitive and affective proximity of two cultures that come in contact within an individual. Distance is used metaphorically to denote dissimilarity between two cultures. Some learners may feel distance against the target cultures in the process of second language learning. And when a second language learner can integrate it with the culture of the L2 socially and psychologically, the learner is considered to be acculturate to the L2 culture. L2 is second language, which is called acculturation. That is, the successful integration of the learner with the culture of the L2 socially and psychologically. By Suman, 1978, page 127. Acculturation is thought to be one of the most important factors affecting second language learning and acquisition, because Schumann believed that the more acculturated the learner is, the more successful he or she in learning and acquiring the L2. Therefore, it is important for language teachers to understand what constitutes and affects acculturation. So, some of these factors include age, cognition, intelligence, personality, intention, interest, self-confidence, and motivation. In researching this topic, many researchers who study sociolinguistics have reported that language is affected by social class. Researchers have reported that the lower and working class struggle more frequently in the attainment of standard or cash English when compared to middle or upper class students. The social environment influences learning by creating a language environment and an experience environment which stimulate the mind to grow, and by systematically rewarding a child for learning. So social aspects ini memang mempengaruhi, pasti akan ada jenjang sosial antara kelas. Di sini kan disebutin kelas pekerja dan kelas yang atas tuh beda. Upper class and lower class pasti mempengaruhi dalam soal bahasa. Next, age difference. Age is one of the factors that influence second language learning. It is generally believed that children are better at language acquisition than adults. However, only the studies conducted in naturalistic learning settings provide the evidence that support the assumption. Critical period hypothesis by Lerner-Buck proposed that in child development there is a period during which language can be acquired more easily than at any other time. So, by the case, according to the critical period hypothesis, age is proved to be the myth that young learners stand the advantage stage in second language learning. they will learn foreign language better than older learners. In the ultimate attainment to older learner is regarded as fast and efficient language learner. So, what is the relationship between age and language acquisition? Age 0 till 3 years old, they have more brain connections and brain cells than any other child or adult. So in this golden age itu bagus banget ya untuk belajar bahasa, karena di sini kayak lagi super menyerapnya gitu. Jadi golden age itu emang apa aja yang dipelajari itu bisa cepet dan selalu diingat gitu. Itu ya, in the first 3 years children learn language best. See, bener kan? In this time the native language is formed. If children have access to more than one language in this period, they often end up with more than one native language. See, better. Next, motivation. Motivation is one of the most important factors in second language acquisition. Richards, 1985, page 185, believes motivation is a factor that determines a person's desire to do something. It is obvious that learners who want to learn are likely to achieve more than those who do not. Okay, types of motivation. Integrative motivation. It means a learner studies a language because he is interested in the people and culture of the target language, or in order to communicate with people of another culture who speak it. Second, instrumental motivation. A learner's goals for learning the second language are functional and useful. For example, a learner needs the language to get a better job, to pass tests, to enable him to read foreign newspaper, etc. So it's different ya antara integratif dan instrumental. Next, aptitude. Here you go. Aptitude, not attitude. Aptitude refers to the specific ability a learner has for learning a second language ya. Jadi aptitude itu kayak emang udah refers to the prediction of how well relative to other individuals. An individual can learn a foreign language in a given amount of time and under given conditions. Jadi beda ya, aptitude dengan attitude. Okay? Aptitude itu the ability to identify sound pattern in your language, the ability to recognize the different grammatical functions of words in sentences, sentence patterns, and meanings. Next, learning style. Here you go. Learning style is also called cognitive style. It is the particular way in which a learner tries to learn something. In a second or foreign language learning, different learner may prefer different solutions to learning problems. Some learners may want explanations for grammatical rules, such as audio learners. Some may feel writing down the words and sentences help them to remember. This is kinesthetic learners. And others may find the remember things better if they are associated with picture, visual learners. Ini saya banget visual learners. Learning strategies. Okay, learning strategies are used by students to help them understand information and solve problems. Learning strategies consist of 4 main components as cognitive strategies, metacognitive strategies, social strategies, and affective strategies. Cognitive strategies involve the manipulation of the learning materials or input by means of repetition, summarizing. Metacognitive strategies involve higher order strategies such as analyzing, evaluating, organizing learner process. Social strategies involve interpersonal behaviors aimed at increasing the amount of foreign language communication with native or non-native speakers. And affective strategies involve taking control of the emotional conditions and experiences that shape one's subjective involvement in learning. Dornier, 2005, page 169. In the context of foreign language learning, the key issue is how the learner strategically use linguistic information to practice the target language. And here you go. Next, personality. Well, personality has been described as a set of features that characterize an individual. Ya maaf ya kalau salah-salah, bukan orang Inggris soalnya, emang orang Indonesia. Studies which investigate personality traits are based on the belief that learners bring to the classroom not only their cognitive abilities but also affective states which influence the way they acquire a language. Some of them have been found as benefits, while the others as an obstacle in learning a second language. So, the most important personality factors are introversion or extroversion, self-esteem, inhibition, risk-taking, anxiety, and empathy. Okay, self-esteem. Mention that by self-esteem, we refer to the evaluation which the individual makes and customarily maintains with regard to himself. It expresses an attitude of approval or disapproval and indicates the extent to which an individual believes himself to be capable, significant, successful, and worthy. People develop their sense of self-esteem as a result of the information they receive about themselves from others. Inhibition and risk-taking. The higher the self-esteem, the lower are the walls of inhibition and the greater success in learning a foreign language. So, anxiety. Anxiety is another important aspect of personality that affects learning a foreign language. Brown, 1994, describes anxiety as a state of mind connected with feelings of uneasiness, frustration, self-doubt, and worry. Empathy and extroversion. The other aspect of personality that has been studied in is empathy. Empathy is the willingness and capacity to identify with others. 1993. It is perceived as an important factor in learning a foreign language, but only as far as communication skills are concerned, as it involves the participation in other people's feelings and ideas. Okay. Next, affects. This one. Here you go, affects. Let me see what is affect. Affect. This is divided to language shock. This one, culture shock, affective filter, and anxiety. So, language shock is psychological and linguistical disorientation experienced. This one, yeah, by most people with the immersion into foreign language in environment when they move for an extended period of time into a culture different from their own. It is closely connected with a wider phenomenon, culture shock. The term culture shock refers to feelings of uncertainty, confusion, or anxiety that people experience when they are transplanted into a society that's different from their own. Okay, so paham ya? The affective filter is metaphor that describes learners' attitudes that affect the relative success of second language acquisition. Negative feelings such as lack of motivation, lack of self-confidence, and learning anxiety act as the filters that hinder and obstruct language learning. When the affective filter is high, individuals may experience stress, anxiety, and lack of self-confidence that may inhibit success in acquiring a second language. On the other hand, allow affective filter facilities risk-taking behavior in regards to practicing and learning a second language. Okay, so I hope you understand about this. Anxiety, I just say that about anxiety. So, okay, next this one, the difference, the differences between language learning and language acquisition. This one, here we go. The differences between wait a minute, come on. The differences between language learning and language acquisition is, there you go. Language learning. Language learning is the process in which learners attempt to form, figure out rules, and are generally aware of their own process. Meanwhile, language acquisition is the subconscious and intuitive process of constructing the system of a language. That's all. I hope you understand. I hope you got the point from this presentation. Thank you very much. My apology for all of my mistakes. Ya maaf ya, mohon maaf kalau nggak jelas. Namanya juga masih belajar, orang Indonesia juga yang ngomong lepotan dan malam. Thank you guys, thank you everyone. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sleep tight.